Let's talk about something we all use every single day: passwords. They're basically the front door key to your entire digital life: your email, your bank, your social media, everything. But how strong is that lock really? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how those keys get copied and stolen.
So I want you to ask yourself this: is your password a high-security vault door, or is it more like a welcome mat with the key just kind of hidden underneath? By the end of this, you'll know exactly where you stand, and more importantly, how to upgrade that lock for good.
First up, what even is password cracking? Well, it's not always like what you see in the movies. A better way to think about it is someone just trying every single key on a giant keyring until your door finally pops open. Or imagine them guessing your ATM PIN by just starting at 0000 and going up. It's a systematic process of guessing, and you better believe computers are incredibly good at it.
You know, if you want to build a better lock, you first have to get inside the head of the person trying to pick it, right? So for the next few minutes, we're going to put ourselves in the shoes of an attacker and check out the tools and tricks they're using to get in.
It really boils down to three huge advantages that attackers have. First, they have powerful computers that can make millions, sometimes billions of guesses per second. Second, they use automated software that does all the heavy lifting for them 24/7. And maybe the most important one, they prey on our very human habits, like being a little forgetful, using simple patterns, or, the big one, reusing the same password everywhere.
All right, so let's pop open the attacker's toolbox and take a look at the most common methods they're using to try and break through our defenses.
Okay, so on the one hand, you've got the brute force attack. This is the slow and steady, methodical approach. It literally tries A, then B, then C, then AA, AB, and so on. It can take a while, but you know what? Against a short, weak password, it is guaranteed to work. But then you have its smarter, faster cousin, the dictionary attack. This uses huge lists of the most common passwords, dictionary words, and passwords leaked from other breaches. And it's shockingly effective because so many people are still using stuff like password 123.
Now, this next one, credential stuffing, this is a big one. This is precisely why reusing passwords is just so incredibly dangerous. See, it all starts when one website has a data breach. The attackers grab that list of emails and passwords, and then they just use a bot to automatically try those exact same credentials on hundreds of other major sites. Your bank, your email, your social media. If you use the same password on any of them, bam, they're in.
And hey, it's not all just about computers guessing passwords. Social engineering is when they trick you into just handing over the key yourself, maybe through a fake email or a scammy phone call. Keylogging is nasty software that just sits on your computer and silently records every single thing you type. And password spraying, that's a sneaky one, where they'll take one super common password like Winter 2024 and just spray it across thousands of different accounts to see who bites. You know, even when a website does everything right, when they store your password in this scrambled, encrypted form called a hash, really determined attackers can still work to try and break that code. It's a much more technical fight, for sure, but it just goes to show that we can't just count on websites to protect us. We've got to do our part too.
Okay, that was a lot of the bad news, but here's the really good news. Building a defense that's practically unbreakable is actually pretty straightforward. It doesn't mean you have to be some kind of tech genius. It just takes a few good habits. So let's build that defense plan right now.
And here it is, your 6-point defense plan. Now we're really going to focus on those top three because honestly they give you the biggest bang for your buck. But all of these are absolutely critical for staying safe online.
So what actually makes a password strong? For years, we were all told it was about complexity. Swapping letters for numbers and symbols. But the thinking on that has changed. The two most important things are way simpler: length and randomness. A long random password is just so much harder for a computer to guess than a short, complicated one.
And this right here is basically the perfect recipe. You want to aim for at least 12 to 16 characters. Go ahead and mix in all the different types: uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbols. But the most important thing is to avoid anything predictable. No names, no birthdays, no keyboard patterns like QWERTY. You could use a memorable phrase like the one here, or go for something totally random. Honestly, both are fantastic choices. And that brings us to the golden rule. Remember that credential stuffing attack we talked about? Well, this one simple habit makes that whole attack completely useless. If some random, unimportant website you signed up for years ago gets breached, who cares? The keys to your bank, to your email, they're totally different, and those doors are staying locked tight.
Of course, that brings up the big question, right? How on earth is any normal human supposed to remember dozens of unique 16-character random passwords? And the answer is simple. You don't. You get a tool to do it for you. A password manager is basically a super secure digital vault that creates, remembers, and even fills in these crazy passwords for you. All you have to do is remember one single, strong master password to unlock the whole thing. We've covered a lot of ground, but I want to leave you with the 2 most powerful actions you can take, like right now, to give your online security a massive upgrade. Think of this as the 80-20 rule for your digital safety.
That's right. If you walk away from this and only do 2 things, please make it these 2. They give you a huge, exponential boost to your protection against pretty much all the attacks we've just talked about.
And the first big idea is all about this number, 2, as in two-factor authentication.
Two-factor authentication, or 2FA, is your absolute best friend online. It means that logging in requires 2 different things: something you know, which is your password, and something you have, like a temporary code that pops up on your phone. So think about it. Even if a hacker steals your password, it's basically useless to them. When they try to log in, the site's going to ask for that second code from your phone, which of course they don't have. It stops them cold.
So let's put it all together. Here is your 2-step, 2-minute security upgrade. First, get a password manager. It'll create and store unique, strong passwords for every single site. Second, go into the security settings of all your important accounts, your email, your bank, your social media, and turn on 2-factor authentication. Just doing those 2 things will make you a much, much harder target.
At the end of the day, online security isn't something you can just buy once and forget about. It's a set of simple habits that you practice. You've got the playbook now, so the only question left is, what's your next step going to be? Thanks for tuning in.